It was a breezy autumn afternoon in Maplewood, a small American town where life moved slowly enough for people to notice even the smallest changes in each other. Emily Carter, a 32-year-old freelance graphic designer, sat by the window of her favorite cafe, sipping on a caramel latte while her eyes scanned the street. She wasn't waiting for anyone in particular, or so she told herself, but her heart had a mind of its own. For the past month, her thoughts had been circling back to one person over and over again: Daniel Brooks. Daniel wasn't just anyone. He had been Emily's high school friend, the kind who always sat next to her in math class and shared his notes when she forgot hers. Life took them in different directions. He went into architecture, she pursued design, and for years, their paths didn't cross. That was until 3 weeks ago, when she spotted him in the same cafe, standing at the counter, ordering his coffee the same way he used to, black, no sugar, with a touch of cinnamon. From that day on, something shifted. They had exchanged a few smiles, a "how have you been?" here and there, but the air between them carried something unspoken, a subtle current that neither could ignore. Emily had always believed in signs, not the mystical, magical kind, but small human cues that revealed more than words ever could. And lately, she had noticed two sure signs that told her Daniel had been thinking about her just as much as she'd been thinking about him. The first sign came on a rainy Tuesday morning. Emily had just walked into the cafe, shaking off droplets from her umbrella, when she spotted him at the corner table. He wasn't looking at his laptop or phone, he was staring at the door, as if expecting someone. When their eyes met, his face lit up in a way that felt warm and unguarded, almost like he'd been waiting for her. That wasn't the look you gave to a random acquaintance. That was the look of someone who had been playing out this moment in their head before it happened. The second sign was more subtle, but even stronger. Every time they spoke, Daniel remembered details she had casually mentioned: her favorite author, the fact that she was allergic to peanuts, how she liked her coffee with an extra pump of caramel on cold days. People forget these things unless they've been keeping you in their mind. And Daniel, he didn't just remember. He built conversations around those details, weaving them in like a secret language only the two of them understood. Still, Emily wasn't sure if she was just reading too much into it. Maybe she was imagining the connection because she wanted it to be real. After all, she had been single for almost 2 years, and loneliness had a sneaky way of turning coincidences into hope. One Friday evening, her phone buzzed with a text. It was Daniel. "Hey, Emily. I know this is kind of last minute, but there's a local art exhibit tonight. Thought you might enjoy it. Wanna come?" Her fingers hovered over the screen for a few seconds before she typed back, "I'd love to." They met outside the gallery, the air crisp with the promise of winter. Inside, warm lighting washed over the paintings, and soft jazz floated in the background. As they wandered from piece to piece, Daniel asked questions, not just about the art, but about her opinions, her feelings, even her memories tied to certain colors or images. He listened in a way that made her feel seen, as if every word she spoke was a thread connecting them more tightly. At one point, they stopped in front of a painting of a quiet street at dusk. "It reminds me of the road near our old school," Daniel said. "Remember how we'd walk there after class sometimes? You'd always point out the sunsets." Emily smiled, touched by the memory. "I can't believe you remember that." "I remember everything," he said softly, almost as if he wasn't supposed to admit it. By the time they left the gallery, the wind had picked up and snowflakes swirled in the air. Daniel walked her to her car, and before she could open the door, he paused. "I don't want to make this weird, but you've been on my mind a lot lately." Her breath caught. "Really?" "Yeah," he said, smiling shyly. "And I think you already know that. I'm not great at hiding it." Emily laughed gently, the tension melting away. "I think I noticed. 2 very clear signs, actually." He tilted his head. "2 signs. You look at me like you've been waiting for me to show up. And you remember things I don't even remember telling you." Daniel chuckled, looking slightly embarrassed but happy. Guilty on both counts. From that night on, their connection deepened. They started meeting more often, sometimes at the cafe, sometimes at the park, sometimes just for a drive through town. Each meeting was threaded with small, unspoken affirmations that they were both exactly where they wanted to be. Months passed, and the two signs Emily had once clung to became just the beginning. Daniel's actions spoke louder every day, calls just to check on her, surprise deliveries of her favorite pastries, a steady presence when life got heavy. She realized that the signs she had been looking for were never about proving his feelings. They were about recognizing that someone saw her, truly and fully, in a way that made her feel safe. Looking back, Emily knew the moment in the cafe. The look he gave her was the first page of a new chapter in her life. A chapter where two people didn't have to guess if they were on each other's minds, because it was written in every smile, every conversation, and every quiet moment in between. And though life in Maplewood was still slow and ordinary to anyone on the outside, Emily felt like her days had taken on a richer color, a deeper meaning. The signs were no longer needed. She could feel his thoughts reaching for her without a single word.